There's one huge mistake that a lot of businesses do that literally makes them lose tens of thousands of dollars every single month. And before you say anything, it generally is so easy to lose that money, especially if you're charging 5K, let's say. If you're charging high ticket prices, it means that you just let 2 leads slip through the crack and you're pretty much losing 10K. And not only that, not that you're losing 10K a month, but you're giving it directly to your competitor. And these 3 simple things that I'm about to talk about in this video are absolutely by far the most crucial thing that you as a business owner, no matter how successful you are, that you as a business owner need to either implement or help your setters implement so they can do a way smoother and way better job with booking people in that are directly qualified for the services that you're offering. And at the end of the day, that just maximizes your closing rate, which makes your business even better because you just get the momentum and stuff. However, I was literally reading Way of the Wolf by one and only the GOAT himself, Jordan Belfort. And I realized, yeah, there's one huge topic that I need to talk about. And it's exactly this sort of 3-step process that I have already been implementing, even without reading this one. It's probably just how things naturally came to me as I started doubling down on my agency and delivering the results to my clients, such as with the guy that's charging 16K per package, doing 400K a month, and I'm a manager of a sales team that's running an outbound campaign and reaching out to 500 plus people every single day. Oh yeah, and by the way, we just hired another setter that's gonna do 150, so we're talking about even more. So especially in cold outbound campaign, or in today's world where trust has never been lower, there's this 3-step process that I'm about to talk about, so you can implement it, because it all starts with having an instant credibility, instant name drop, I would say. So we all know how powerful the method of, I'd say, networking with people is. It's extremely powerful. I'd say by far the most valuable thing that you can do in the business space is to network with someone. When I got my IJ band, I wouldn't have been able to get it back without having a network of killers that purely came from my client that I delivered the results to. The guy that I spoke about in the previous video, doing probably over 100K a month at this point, because he was at 95K for this month a few days ago, sorry. But essentially, method number 1, instant credibility and just instantly assuming familiarity. Now, what does that mean? You, as a credible guy, which I believe you are in this space, because I'm super confident that you're already one of the best coaches or agency owners or even consultants on the market already, or even just a setter, to be fair, looking for another role. I'm sure that you're doing great. I'm sure you are. But there's one method with name dropping people that people just seem to neglect, I would say. I don't know why. And it's all about name dropping someone that's within your network that your client knows. So let's imagine you have some great success stories. Let's say, like I have with a few of my clients right now, at the moment of me recording this video. If I was about to reach out to someone, I would only be reaching out to people that are within their network first, because that's how you expand. From one of my clients, I can surely extract at least over 100 people, and that's already 100 pretty much proven people that would genuinely be interested in my stuff, simply because I've already provided insane results to the guy that they know, my client. So essentially what I would do is name drop him and just assume familiarity. So I instantly become a credible person in the space. And it's not that hard, especially when you provide great results. And after that, when we start conversing, when we start talking with each other, when I just genuinely want to hear more about his situation and see if I might be even that fit to help them out, that's where the step number 2 comes in place. Making them comfortable in my environment. That's crucial, because in these times when trust has never been lower, trusting people generally has never been harder. There's every single guru out there selling their life-changing product, and we got to the point where people just don't buy into that shit anymore. No one buys into life-changing products, and that's the fact. So what people do nowadays is buying into other people. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should provide some life-changing results, because if you're a great person, I can put my life on the line right now, that someone will go rather with you, no matter how much you charge, than with someone else who maybe has better results, better testimonials, but is just a fucking dickhead. Because that person that is providing better results, let's say, is just not someone enjoyable to be working with. I would never work with someone who is just a fucking geek, I never would, genuinely, I never would. I would rather maybe work with someone who is a better person, and I know he can still provide me with results, but it's just the genuine relationship that we're building, kinda, and we're pretty much growing together. That's the thing. And you also gotta understand that you should just make your prospects, make those people comfortable in your environment, because when you start asking, let's say, some of the more intrusive questions, such as how much you making, bro, what you trying to reach, we all have our visions, blah blah, classic thing. By the way, don't be super salesy, make sure to genuinely show interest. Like I've said, I've 4 times already repeated the word genuine because it's so fucking important. When you're asking those questions, after you made people comfortable in your environment, it's gonna be a smooth sailing. You will realize an instant difference. Because how the fuck do you think my setters are able to book people in for a call purely doing cold outbound campaign, and we're talking about the calls where they're supposed to pay 16K? Can you imagine? Because if the person doesn't want to even hop on a call with you, how do you think they are going to pay you what they need to pay in order to get an access to your stuff? They're not. So it's all about leading them step by step throughout your structure, throughout your process. And like I've said, the very first one, when you're talking with someone, you just instantly want to make yourself look like a credible person in the space, not some unknown guy. By the way, that doesn't even mean that you should have plenty of followers. You just need to be within the network of people. That's the step 1, just to repeat. Step 2, make them comfortable in your environment and start asking genuine questions to navigate the convo further. And between those questions, there's one thing that you guys should probably already know: ACA formula. Acknowledge, complement, ask. Make sure to acknowledge and avoid being one of these robotic guys out there. Trust me, no matter how good of results you're posting, how life-changing it is, no one is gonna buy into it simply because, you're just not pleasant to be speaking with, let alone do something deeper. I've had situations where people tried selling me so hard, and maybe, who knows, I never invested, maybe the investment would pay off, but I just can't stand those people. I genuinely can't stand them. I can't. Because not only that they were trying to push it, not only that they were just one of these gurus, they also didn't respect me as a prospect, I would say. Which brings me to the step number 3. Respecting your prospects. Now, what does that mean? Respecting your prospects mean, especially in the space where you're charging over 5K, these juicy prices. Honestly, the higher price you have, the more you're charging, the riskier it gets for you to lose even more money. If you're charging 5K, losing 2 or 3 prospects is already 10 to 15K lost, like I've said at the beginning of this video. And people that are charging even more than 10K, it's even worse for them. And what I wanted to talk about in this 3rd step is where you need to respect your prospect, is genuinely just to be a bit more direct without any of these shitty sales strategies that, I don't know, worked 35, 40 years ago. Talking about the pain points, amplifying it, then trying to come up with the solution. Like, I genuinely don't believe even in that. I honestly don't believe in that, because if we're talking with highly qualified clientele, people that are supposed to pay us juicy, high ticket prices, once again, 5K or above, they know the game. Let's be real, they know the game. To be fair, even in B2C space, where people are paying 3, 4, 5K as well for some B2C programs such as closing, appointment setting, whatever, they also know the game. They can just sense it. Remember, sales is an industry where energy is transferable, and they can just feel it. Let alone these people that are B2B orientated. Well, is that the word? Yeah. Let alone those guys. They know the game because they're already trying to implement that same game on their prospects as well. So when you kind of accumulate everything that I've spoke about in this video, with name dropping, or in other words, making yourself look like a credible person in the industry, with genuinely trying to understand their situation to see if you guys would even be a good fit, with then making them comfortable in your environment. For that last step is just being a bit more direct without talking about any shit like, one of these strategies that I just mentioned, because it's crucial for you to just understand that you need to be transparent. Do you get me what I'm trying to say? Transparency is also the key in clear relationships, in the relationships that you want to build clearly with your clients. You get me? Because what I'm trying to say is that these things, these call proposals, these transitioning points at the end where you can either make it or break it, by far, in my opinion, the most important stage of a sales process is booking them in. Why? Simply because that's the first time you're actually asking them for some sort of a commitment. In that stage, you just need to be yourself. Like I've said, without any of these, okay, so would you actually be down to hop on a quick call so I can tell you more about XYZ? Like, no, that doesn't work. You need to respect them. You need to respect them, because what I've realized in my outbound strategies, in my outbound campaigns that I'm doing for myself, I've realized that me respecting other person and respecting his time ultimately or directly brings me respect from their end. They just start respecting me more because I'm unlike everyone else. I respect them, so they respect me back. It's some kind of a reciprocity, if I pronounced it correctly. So genuinely talking about that is super important, because like I've said already, a lot of people neglect that because they are blindly following the scripts that worked already. Don't get me wrong, those are great scripts and great frameworks, but they worked several years ago. Even something from 2 years ago is not gonna be working anymore. So essentially, you just want to avoid saying some of these triggerish words as well. I never mentioned client, the word student, the word sale. I just never mentioned it because I'm not trying to build, I'd say, a community of clients. I'm trying to build a community of partners, because at the end of the day, I make my money off of the revenue shares that I directly contribute to. I make them 20K, I make the percentage. I help these 400K a month guys sell their 16K package. I get around 1.5K. I get the percentage, So it's in my best interest for them to consider me their partner, because we're working towards the same goals and pretty much benefiting on a similar level, I would say. So if you're a business owner doing 6-7 figures already and you feel like you're maybe supposed to improve your process, bro, just watch my previous videos and you'll see everything. You'll genuinely see everything. I think there's one video that I recorded talking about how my outbound strategy is closing 16K packages paid in full. You can just go out there and watch that one. But to be fair, every single video is valuable. So I don't know what's stopping you, because you just have it all served on your plate. But anyways, by the way, don't have any shitty 15K coaching program to sell you. It's in my best interest for you to get to the level where we could potentially implement my setters, my management, and make money off of the commissions as well. Because like I said, I'm looking to build a community of partners who I'll be able to kill it together with long term. So if you feel you're at that level, you need some setters. In the worst case scenario, I can just recommend you some of the best killers on the market, even if that means that you wouldn't need my management. But all in all, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like. Drop me a follow on IG. Starting my new journey with taking cold plunges every single day for the next 90 days or until I hit 20K a month, whatever comes sooner. And Wolf of Croatia brand itself, the main one. Drop me a follow my journey, and thank you once again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.